Hey, what's going on? James from J Kramer Fitness. Today, we are doing an unbiased review of Levels Grass Fed Whey Protein. As always, before getting into review, I always like to share that these unbiased reviews have a timestamp. So we will talk about mixability, clumping and when you shake it, protein quality. All that stuff is listed down below, especially if you're someone who's trying to build muscle and wondering how many scoops you'd be taking post-workout. Let's get into this unbiased review. Before we get into this unbiased review, I want you to go ahead and take a moment to like this video. If you find anything important to help you grow on your health and fitness journey, I do weekly protein reviews. My goal is to do at least one protein video review per week. Levels Grass-Fed Whey Protein Powder is from the great state of Florida. This is not my first time around the block reviewing a grass-fed protein powder. I have done bum, raw, and naked protein powders. The details of those three protein powders in video format that I've already done. I've also done written review of Pez Science. I'm going to be doing a re-review because Google thinks that I was too harsh on that review. So I'm reviewing that one. I'm also going to be reviewing Opportunities, and then I have a special request down the pipeline, Z Natural Foods. So as of right now, I've seen a recurring issue with protein powders out of Florida using my review metrics. At most, they have been very average. However, there are some questionable traits on these protein powders at best. So when you purchase a bag of Levels grass-fed protein powder, there are some claims that Levels is a grass-fed and hormone-free dairy product, cold-processed whey protein concentrate, sunflower lecithin as an emulsifier, minimal ingredient profile, and then finally no artificial sweeteners or bogus fillers. And then finally, in this unbiased review, I want to emphasize the transparency of my process evaluating whether Levels 100% grass-fed whey protein powder backs up its most significant claims, being grass-fed and from hormone-free dairy cows. So let's examine whether Levels whey is amino spiked. There is an printed amino acid profile in each bag of Levels whey protein powder. The profile is crucial as it indicates the protein's quality. With grass-fed powders, the idea is that the amino acid profile should be higher when compared to a standard protein powder due to cows being grass-fed. At first glance, the amino acid profile looks real solid. However, when you compare Levels to a USDA certified grass-fed protein powder, let's just go ahead and use raw organic whey because that was the last protein powder I did that was grass-fed, which is certified USDA organic. And let's go ahead and use the gold standard Optimum Nutrition's 100% gold whey. That ain't it. At first glance, the amino acid profile looks real solid for Levels grass-fed whey. However, when you compare Levels to a USDA certified organic protein powder, before comparing the three protein powders, I have to provide disclosure that raw organic whey is an unflavored protein powder. They only have one flavor. And furthermore, when doing comparison between Levels and Optimum Nutrition, I'm going to use chocolate. So with that shared, I'm going to go ahead and flash the table I created for this part of the section review. We're going to go ahead and examine leucine, the total BCAA, serving size, yada, top to bottom. What you're going to notice with Levels grass-fed whey is that the leucine content appears to be on par for raw organic whey and on par for Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard. However, even though we're not doing pricing comparison, raw is going to be more expensive, and then Optimum Nutrition's Gold Standard is going to be a little bit less in price. You start noticing that there are a lot of discrepancies between the protein powders. Mainly, leucine content is higher than Levels, and it's almost comparable to that of Optimum Nutrition's Gold Standard. Total amount of BCAAs are the same all the way through. However, raw organic whey is certified as an organic whey protein, grass-fed protein powder. So, and then you start examining, the serving size for 5.4 grams of BCAAs, and you compare that to raw organic, takes a higher amount of ingredients or protein just to hit that 5.4 grams of total BCAAs when you compare it to raw organic whey. And then of course you start noticing that I did come in contact with Levels in regards to protein sourcing. They claim that their protein powder is sourced to the United States. It's not. I'll discuss more on that in a review here shortly. So you're going to be in either one of two camps. The first camp is Level Grass Fed Whey is a great deal. Compares very similar to Op Nutrition's Gold Standard Whey, and it is cheaper than a certified USDA organic protein. Or, and this is this camp that I'm in, why am I receiving a higher quality grass-fed protein powder than a certified USDA product? There starts to come unraveling in regards to Levels Grass-Fed Whey Protein. Now let's go ahead and examine the biggest two claims found on Levels Grass-Fed Protein Powder. Is it grass-fed, and does it use hormone-free dairy? I actually sent an email to Levels because I had some questions about sourcing. The response was about on par with that I would receive from a Florida-based protein powder. They shared exactly what you would think they would share: humanely raised cows that are grass-fed from the United States of America. The product is made in the US. We like to source all of our grains from the USA. Monk fruit, however, cannot grow here, and it's only grown in Asia. The representative was trying to persuade me that the reason why there isn't a badge sharing made with internationally produced ingredients with the domestic products is that the main reason for they receiving that badge is the monk fruit. I'm not buying that. I firmly believe that this protein powder is sourced internationally. No ifs, ands, or buts. Is Levels grass-fed 100% whey protein a grass-fed protein powder? I always like using Asian Roots article. Grass-fed whey contains more BCAAs. We can use the information as a template for assessing the grass-fed nature of Levels grass-fed whey. Using information listed on the bag at face value, Levels would be classified as grass-fed, finished, or partially grass-fed. Even with the best intentions, states like California suffer from drought along with the various other impacts of climate change. These climate events lead up to inconsistent use of nutrient-rich grain as intermittent. This protein powder should be grass-fed, however, it's not. It's just mostly partially grass-fed. Here's the issue with the Asian Roots article. In order for it to work, we need to have a certified third party certifying that this protein powder found in Levels is a grass-fed protein powder. In order to be certified USDA organic, cows need to have access minimum 120 days, no access to antibiotics or milk-producing hormones, and finally consume 30% of their diet from grass. The next issue for Levels is that it's not USDA certified organic. And that's a big time issue. I firmly believe that Levels protein is an internationally sourced, cold processed protein powder. We know it's internationally sourced because of these badges, made in the USA with international ingredients, certified good manufacturing practices facility. I've been doing protein reviews now for at least 4 years. This protein powder reads as a internationally sourced protein powder. Let's go ahead and look at third-party certifications that Levels grass-fed protein has. There are no third-party certifications for grass-fed. There is no USDA organic, which is the bare minimum. AWA and Truly Grass-Fed are the top of the tier for grass-fed protein powders. So, as I shared in the previous section, most of these cows probably had some access to grass, and at some point these cows were injected with milk-producing hormones and antibiotics. If you're wondering about informed choice and informed sport, Levels does not have these badges for testing for legal and banned substances. So before discussing how to make a Levels shake and the number of scoops needed to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, let's go ahead and take a quick detour examining what Amazon buyers thought of the protein powder. As it stands to date, there are 15,000 reviews. Levels has a 4.5 out of 5 stars. As always, I like to start off with what the negative reviews are saying with Levels, and there are some major concerns, ones I've already addressed so far in this video format review. Quality control issue is a big one. Individual buyers have received discolored and rancid product before. Issues with lactose, Some individuals have had major stomach pain using Levels, and this kind of brings in concern with the cold process claim. More concerns, protein sourcing. A lot of individuals have shared that they want to know where this protein powder is from. Is it sourced from China, Brazil, or India? I wouldn't be surprised if this is from India or China. Positive reviews, it's the same three things if you ever done a protein review research before making a purchase. Taste, price, mixability. Majority of people, I think it was close to 70% of positive reviewers rated very favorably with at least a 4-star. So with that shared, let's go ahead. You're probably trying to figure out how many scoops you'd be using to take post-workout. Let's get into that. If your goal is to use Levels Grass Fed Whey Protein, research suggests you should aim for 25 grams of protein with up to 3 grams of leucine post-workout. Here's what we know with Levels. 24 grams of protein with 2.5 grams of leucine. To stimulate muscle protein synthesis, aim for a little bit less than 1.25 scoops. If your goal is to maximize every bag and container of Levels grass-fed protein powder, use a high protein skim milk post-workout. Use 1 cup. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a Levels grass-fed whey protein shake. Directions as follow. You want to use a shaker or blender. When mixing, add 1 scoop of Levels whey to 8 ounces of water, milk, or your favorite beverage. Shake or blend for 15 to 30 seconds. Take your protein to the next level and use oats, ice cream, yada yada. I have my daily driver shaker cup right here. Pure Choice Farms, not sponsored. It's my daily driver, so let's grab the scoop. We are reviewing double chocolate. So 1 scoop. I am gonna do the 1.25 scoop. You got 2 choices. I don't have my table as usually do. Oh boy, drop some chocolate on the floor. So we're gonna go ahead and do some big scoops. There's 1, and then a little bit over 1/4. Perfect. Boom. Lock her up. Shake her up. Even if you don't do, I never do the full 15 to 30 seconds. However, I think you can see it on, can you see it on there? Well, there's small caking involved, and you know, the longer you shake it, the more effort you're gonna, I wouldn't say that you'll be annoyed shaking this protein powder. However, you do have to use a little bit more elbow grease than necessary, fully mixed up. However, the big key is on the top here. There's small specks on there. I think this is above average that I rated, so for mixability. All right, so let's go ahead and do ourselves a Level double chocolate taste test. Taste review. Enjoy. Well, cheers. Best way to describe this is that you take a chocolate milk mix and then some bits of hints of baking powder, put the two together. This is what you're getting in it. There is some slight bitterness to it, and at the same time has issues drinking protein powders with stevia. You're not going to taste the stevia in this. I think it's a nice contrast. It's not overpowering, it's not overly sweet. However, there's enough of a reminder to provide that this is supposed to be a chocolate protein powder or chocolate protein shake. Would I buy it again? Well, I think the bigger question is, would I use water? Probably not. I would go ahead and use the 1 cup of milk. It probably tastes 1,000 times better. Let's answer this question. Is Levels grass-fed whey protein good? In my previous protein review, raw organic whey, and it was the standard version. It was a very serviceable version of a claimed grass-fed protein powder, but in that review I shared that would probably be the top end of where I would allow for some of those claims to happen. However, we're at the bottom end of the spectrum now with Levels grass-fed whey protein. If I had to make a judgment call on Levels grass-fed whey protein, this is the bottom of the passable range for grass-fed whey protein powders without a third-party seal verifying it as grass-fed. What did Levels get wrong? Nobody likes mystery protein sourcing. Obviously, this protein powder is not sourced from the United States. We already know what protein powder sourced in the United States looks like for price. This is obviously an internationally sourced protein powder, but the major issue, where does it come from? Europe, India, China, Brazil, anywhere cheap that is offering some level of grass-fed protein powder. With that shared, I'm referencing to my email that I had with Levels, them sharing that Levels is not sourced from the United States. Companies that use USA sourced protein, they share that on the label. Dymatize shares that, Raw Organic Whey shares that, even Pure Choice Farms shares that. This is the big major component of this review. No third-party certification for grass-fed or hormone-free dairy. As I shared previously in one of the previous sections, the bare minimum is a USDA certified organic badge. You don't get that organic badge, USDA certified organic badge, without meeting the requirements. 30% grass-fed, must not be injected with milk-producing hormones or antibiotics. The levels get right. Well, I talked about this before. Budget price, mix is great, taste is serviceable, could be great depending on the flavor you select. And these are the same characteristics where majority of big, well-recognized protein powder names always get right. Let's finish this review and ask this one last question. Is Levels Whey Protein worth it? If you're looking for a small ingredient profile offering excellent grass-fed protein powder with a value, you may think you hit a home run. However, Levels label claims raise some serious issues of quality. When you compare Levels to a certified organic protein powder and an industry leader, something isn't quite adding up for the value-based protein powder. In reality, and let's be honest here, when do value and high quality even go hand in hand? They rarely do. There is no substance or governing body to certify the two big claims being made on Levels protein bag: grass-fed and whey from hormone-free cows. I would classify Levels grass-fed whey protein as the bare minimum passable as a grass-fed protein powder, average at best. However, I always like to share this: buyers beware of false claims. One last thing, I'm noticing a recurring thing with protein powders being sold from Florida, where their HQs are at. The powders that are coming out of Florida are not the highest of quality and is misleading buyers. Let's wrap this thing up. I want to know what you're thinking. Do you use Levels grass-fed protein powder? Comment below, let me know if I've got the review right or wrong. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Below are all my links for the unwritten full review and all the protein powders I have done up to date. I'm somewhere in the mid-70s. If you're hesitant about buying a protein powder, leave a comment below, reach out to me, or visit my website. I'll have links available so you can go ahead and provide a suggestion. However, I'm a little bogged up right now. I have multiple requests to get some protein powders done, so I'm doing the best. Protein powder requests may take up to 2 weeks for a written review and may take up to 4 weeks for a video review to make an appearance. With that said, thanks for watching. Make it a great day.